Good evening, everybody. My name is Ursa Ryan. And you know, I've had one thing on my mind the last couple of weeks. Next weekend, I'm going to be taking part in the Civ Give, which is a very chaotic multiplayer experience that involves a certain element of randomness, shall we say. It's not quite like single player, is it, multiplayer? You get given a game and unless you're going to reload repeatedly, you've got to just deal with what you've got. There's also the matter of who we play. And I've got a lot of favourite civs, but to be honest with you, a lot of my favourite civs I'm very out of practice with. So today, you rapscallions are going to join me on something of a practice mission. I'm going to play, as you can see, Mr. Genghis Khan himself. Absolutely full of horse milk and cheese, that man. Look at him, that smile. Incidentally, I drew his hat recently. That is very difficult to draw. Very weird proportions, the hat. It's that bit above the eyebrows. Yeah, I didn't do it very well. Now, I love playing as Mongolia, and I even more love playing as Genghis Khan, and I even more like playing civs really well, but I feel a bit out of practice with Mongolia. There are different civs for different people, different styles of games. Some civs are like massive clubs, right? You can basically just pick them up, and if you hit things hard enough, it works. Looking at you, Byzantium. Mongolia is more like a very precise dagger, very sharp, but if you don't stick it in the right places, then it's not going to do very much for you. So we need to get practicing. I'm playing a very typical game we are going to play today. Continents and Islands, 6 players, regular Deity mode, standard speed, no game modes, no gameplay mods, and you're going to join me as I press begin game and we deal with whatever start we get given, because that's sort of the idea of multiplayer, isn't it? Oh my lord, look at this all. That is both brilliant and also slightly worrying. Now, as per usual, if you want to play along with me, come to Discord, because you can take the save file for this exact game into your computer and play along, but the details are as follows if you want to just put them in manually. Do you think as a Patreon thing, I should start sending out save files in floppy disk form? I feel like that would be on people's levels. Maybe fax the details to people. Yes, this is what we should do. Right, here we go. Mongolia. Think deep, throaty music, massive mines, the ability to just raid walls endlessly. That's what we're going to do today. Let's get going. Hey, you! Yes, you! Stop that! Whatever you're doing, listen to Ursa. I have exciting news. This year, I'm honoured to be a team captain on the 2023 Civ Give. Join Team Ursa on the 15th and 16th of December as we take on fantastic minigames, setting me up for a huge live multiplayer game on Sunday the 17th of December. All to raise money for a fantastic charity, Gamers Outreach. Follow the link on this video to my Tiltify page, where you can donate in exchange for fantastic gifts, including a personalised, badly drawn picture straight from me to you. It's not in the Louvre, it's in your house. Merry Christmas, wish me luck, and back to the video. It's turn 1, and there are a few things that really leap out to me immediately. First of all, look at this on the right hand side. That's 2 geothermal fissures and a silk on a hill in a forest. Oh, these are good yields. However, this is all grassland hill from what I can tell, so the actual settling location isn't great unless I were to go 1, 2, 3 right onto the geothermal fissure. Now I could do that. I could go and settle on the geothermal fissure. That would be a turn 2, 3, 4 settlement, and it would give me a little bit of extra production. It would give me 1 culture and 1 science more, but it's 4 turns of waiting. It's a very difficult choice, that. Equally, I could head over to the left and settle on Miss Plains Hill. Immediately work the production and the gold of the ivory. Again, not a particularly good start. Send my warrior down the river. Interesting. Banan. Well, that goes along with spices for some decent plantations either side. You know what? I think I'm gonna risk it. Risk it for a biscuit. Let's go and settle on the geothermal fissure. Although, now I've moved there, look what I could do. That's 2 plus 4 campuses. 2 of them. If I were to settle on that geothermal fissure, I'd only be able to use 1 and not the other. That's not ideal. Ooh, these are the sort of starts that make you think, aren't they? Well, I can only find more by moving over, and there's marble. I really like this double campus start. I really like it. I don't think I'm going to actually move on to the geothermal fissure. Everything in my brain is telling me to settle that tile, but if I do, I'll lose this campus setup, and that's too good. I'm going with my gut. I'm going with my gut, and I might regret that massively. Okay, we're going to work this for a little bit of culture. Let's first unlock animal husbandry to work out where the horses are. As Mongolia, we need as many sources of horses as we can get. After all, how are we going to eat that delicious horse cheese unless we've got some horse sauce to go with it? I think I'm going to stick to the multiplayer friendly scout start, and we'll go from there. My warrior is taking a little trip up the river. Normally good land can be found up rivers, normally. Not always, but normally. There is some ivory in the perfect camper spot. I mean, the perfect +4 camper spot. This is why I was reluctant to settle on the geothermal fissure. Look what the land has to do in order to recreate the beautiful +4 that this is giving me either side. It's too good to just pass up on, you know? Especially because all I'd need to do is say, for instance, whack a government plaza there, and that's a +6. Now, some of you watching this video may ask me, Ursa, if you're practicing for a charity game, would you really rock up to a charity game and play Mongolia? And to that I say, stop asking awkward questions, how dare you? You may have noticed foreign trade. Oh, yes, I could even go and settle on a different continent with my first city. That could be fun, especially because I could settle on the coffee, you know, because any channel needs good coffee. Coffee is really, really good for growth and stability. Actually, I've never actually zoomed in. That's quite a pretty, it also looks like Christmassy, doesn't it? It's like stinging nettles and Christmas combined into one thing. If I take the yields off, look at that. Beautiful. I say beautiful, it's incredibly 2D, but never mind. In goes the Pantheon. In goes Discipline. I know I've got scouts, but I want to kill that barb camp. It looks like it's being killed for me though. I could get there a little bit late. Pericles. This seems like a very multiplayer sort of thing. I think I might have accidentally invited you to my land. I don't know if I meant to do that, but never mind. Caguana. Thirst meat on you. Lovely. I suspect that Athens will take you over very shortly, and that is 3 era score. Take the gifts when you can. Delicious. Delicious. Before I get writing, there's no point in getting writing until I get mining. I need to be able to mine my books. Did you know that books are mined from underneath trees? People think that trees are made into books. No, the books actually live under the trees. Fun fact that. So we better learn to get our book mines up. Greece has gone religious settlements, everybody. Yay! We all love to see a hyper-expansionist Greece. Greece with a starting anti-cavalry unit right next to me that's denounced me. Ah, yes, Greece. I didn't actually show you where my sources of horses were, but I've got one there, I've got one there, I've got one here. It's a lot of horse. Some would say that I need to stop horsing around. To that I would say, no, let's get that settler out as quick as I can. If I can go and just block Greece from settling into this little window, I can guarantee that I get both of my beautiful +4 camper spots and we can go from there. Jerusalem. First meet on them as well. Excellent stuff. +1 envoy. I'll keep that for later. Oh my lord, this science start gets even better. 2 reefs. 1, 2. That means there's yet another +4. I don't normally put too many pins on the beginning of the map because strategics are going to ruin any plan that you've got. Civ will take a look at your life and say, I'm going to throw a strategic comet right into the middle of it. But no, that is lovely. Another +4. +4 I feel is the limit for me, but I have to sit up and take note. Ooh, that's a builder from that tribal village. Lovely. Okay, well I better go and work, I think, this source of horse. Horseback riding has been advanced considerably by putting the horses inside a wall. It is everybody's fun fact at the moment, isn't it? You can get the horses to move in and out of the wall depending on whether or not you're working it. Do you see? Look, don't work the tile, they're outside of the walls. Work the tile, they go inside. Oh, you are lucky there's a warrior on that settler. Very lucky, friend. Well, I've got this starting builder. Starting builder looks to be pretty fun. So I think I will end up improving 3 tiles. I'm going to jump onto foreign trade. What's in the tribal village? The boost to masonry. Okay, I was thinking about going to work that marble, so I'm glad I didn't do that. It's quite a lot of tiles away. 130 gold to go and unlock it. It could be worth it. Equally, it could also not be worth it. It could go either way. I think one of my improvements has to be the farm in order to get the irrigation boost. Maybe I'll go and unlock the ivory instead? I don't know. I need to get something unlocked for my civic boost, but we'll work out exactly what in a bit. Ah, yes, I'm just annoying the settler by keeping my scout around it. In Garzagamu. Oh, no, that's a city-state I could get behind. That's 1 production towards my settler. If I waited for the card, I could get 2 envoys there, but I'd rather have the production now. Quite useful, that. Don't interfere with the city. Oh, I think that hat might be a little bit tight for you, friend. You're getting a little bit angsty for no reason. Just an envoy. It didn't mean anything, I promise. Giant's Causeway. Oh, you're kidding me. The Spear of Fionn. 5 combat strength for any unit I bring into this little vicinity. That is so strong. Okay, I'm feeling like a strategy may be appearing, ladies and gentlemen. Can you see it as well? I've just realized as well. I didn't even see it at the time. There is another geothermal fissure there. Another one. That means that this is also a +4 campus. Actually, no, it's better. +5 because of the mountain. And then this is also a +4 as well. Oh, is there an arrangement that would allow me to make all of those campuses work? It would be cramped. It would be very, very cramped, but I could make this into an absolute absolute campus hotspot. I wouldn't be able to directly settle the coffee. I'd have to move this city up a tile. Doing that would free up an area around here. We're gonna have to start coding these. So this would be the capital. That would be city 1, and then this would have to be the campus associated with that. Then what I'd have to do is settle in a slightly weird formation. This would be city number 2, which would mean that I'd have to make a campus there, but then I can't settle on this little bit of land after that point. It would be too cramped. The only way I could make this work is if I were to move this city off the fresh water, which isn't great, but it does mean I'll be able to put a city on the coast, which would have this campus, and then we'd sort this one out afterwards. Probably a bit like that. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4. That is a very strange arrangement, but that would let me have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 campuses, all of +4. And Eleanor of Aquitaine, this is very much like a multiplayer game. Let's exchange information on capitals. You're all the way over there. That is good to know. I got lucky on the tile spread. I will pick up the marble. Eleanor hasn't yet denounced me. Let's get the craftsmanship, switch to urban planning, and see if she wants to buy my marble. Not really. What about my horses? Not really. What about my marble and my horses? No, she didn't fall for that one. Well, let's unlock the campuses anyway. Well, which city do I want to go and settle first? I think Greece is going to start encroaching on me pretty quickly, so I will have to go and settle this city first, I think. And I think I'm going to celebrate, actually, by just pumping another settler out really quickly. Get as many out in this short space of time as we can. 20 faith in a tribal village, that gives me a pantheon. It's a bit late, but it is a pantheon. What would be a good pantheon then? Given how many campuses I'm likely to put down, I am very tempted by Divine Spark. A couple of libraries would mean pretty much an early game monopoly on scientists, although it looks like at least Eleanor has built at least one campus. But the thing is, I'm used to just rushing in really early doors with Mongolia. I don't want to do that today. We need to practice building up a little bit more. Make sure we have an economic base before we push out. So we've got pastures, got at least a couple of quarries, some camps, some plantations. No reeds and marshes. That is my usual start, and unfortunately that's not an option. I'm tempted to lean on strategics here. God of craftsmen, work this source of horse as quickly as I can. Make that into a 3 production tile. There's at least another source of horse over there. I'll need those, and I'll need iron. Just incentivizes me to go and settle them. Fertility rights would give me city growth, and that's quite useful actually. Getting a 3 builder would mean I could go and get this irrigation going as quickly as I could. You know what? I'm going to go for the long-term economy. I'm going to go Divine Spark today. Whether that's a good idea or not, I don't know. But all of my bonuses are just spread around a little bit. No benefit by themselves was giving me enough to make me want to go for it. And thus, going for something neutral seems to be a pretty decent idea. Let me know what you would have done. City number 2. It's on another continent. Did you catch that? That's why I was going to go and settle on the coffee first. I am desperately trying to get a golden age if we can. Maybe unlikely. Normally on multiplayer you have a little bit more time than usual, but it's worth keeping an eye on these things. Let's put a few turns into builder. Greece is going to go for a religion. That's quite a well put together Stonehenge. Look at it. Look at all the rock. So uniformly put in a circle. Beautiful stuff. Oh no, somebody else built it. Sorry Greece, tear it down. Someone did it before you. Ignore all the roads you've had to build. It's useless now. It's absolutely useless. Oh, there's iron there. It's always funny when a tile reveals the iron with the science. The horses are selling for a lot more to England now, so I'm going to allow myself to sell those. Just helps me to build up a small amount of gold. Writing, finished. Early empire, within boost range. Let's change to state workforce, and I'll get my capital to pop in this campus as soon as it's done. Did you see how many good campus tiles are around? Look at them. Oh, what a start. Next up, I want encampments. These are something I want to build in large quantities. I want to get at least one of the classical era generals if I can, but I also have my own unique building, the Ordu. I haven't really spoken about Mongolia very much so far. +3 combat strength and a chance to defeat enemy cavalry class units with your cavalry. It's wonderful. That's heavy and light cavalry, just a little bit better, but Ordu. Trade routes, immediately put down a trading post as soon as you send them, and having a trading post in a city grants you diplomatic visibility. And in addition to that, every level of diplomatic visibility you have over your opponent counts double. So putting a trading post into, let's say, Knossos, well, that would give me +6 combat strength. +6. And then that becomes +9 if it's a cavalry unit. And then also +15 if then I have an extra from, say, printing. And then that could be extra +21 if, for instance, I then had, say, a spy. This is what I was talking about with Mongolia. Very precise, but if you can figure them out, they can be a lot of fun. Oh, that barb camp is being killed. No, this one is mine. Thank you very much. First campus down. Now where am I going to move my next settler? There's no fresh water on this tile. I am very much giving up on the fresh water in order to get a very good campus spot. An aqueduct will fix that. Plantations, granaries, there's stuff you can do, but it just will stop the early game growth a little bit. Because of that, I'm not thinking to rush that. I might go and settle down on this coast, or maybe actually settle this silk. Let's go and settle the silk. That'll be a luxury that then I can sell. Speaking of, oh look, it's gone up from 4 gold per turn to 5 gold per turn. Eleanor's getting a little bit more interested. I'll keep an eye on that. I don't want to sell it just yet. Ooh, 3 scientist points per turn. I am not after Zhang Heng. He's okay, but Hypatia, she's the one I want. She gives me a 3 library and then also +1 science on all libraries going forward. It stacks with my Pantheon. She's the one that I really want to get. Ordies are fun later into the game. This is my replacement barracks because it gives +1 movement to heavy and light cavalry trained in the city. That doesn't sound very good, but it is very good because it means you can pillage more. Pillaging is something we're going to be doing a lot of, especially with our Kashigs and with horsemen. This thing is brilliant. Escorting civilian and support units at higher than normal movement speed. Oh, let me tell you, there is a lot of fun to be had with Mongolia. I see you, Mr. Slinger, just lurking there. I haven't seen any form of Greek rush at the moment with warriors or slingers or anything like that. I have been keeping an eye out. If I see Greece making a move in my direction, this is sort of one of the reasons I have a lot of gold just hanging around. I want to make sure that if I need to, I can spam out a couple of slingers. But here is city number 3. This one has fresh water. It gives me early empire, which is great. And I can almost immediately put down the campus, which I'm tempted to do, you know? Although it would take 21 turns, and I don't really want to be giving up all the early game gold because I want to be able to buy a library as soon as possible. But 60 gold, it's a +4. I think I'm going to have to make an exception this game. Now, Muscat, Geneva have already been suzerained, but the others haven't. So I'm going to start off by using the usual Amanitor and heading to Ngazagamu. That'll be worth some era score. How many turns have we got left? Still a few. Oh no, 10 turns. It's not as much as I thought it might be. Never mind. I'm gonna have to buy another tile, which isn't brilliant, but I do want to pop these campuses down as quickly as I can, and this is one of the main ways of doing it. So we've got 14 turns, 19 turns, 2 turns. It's the first hoplite. They will be an absolute nightmare to me. That's why I'm not really going into early game warfare, but also I just know attacking Greece early game, never a lot of fun. Here is a campus. It looks beautiful, and their state workforce. What I'm going to do is just flip to Agogi, keep urban planning, immediately look to put Pingala into my capital to give me 15% science, but also I want to get to connoisseur and researcher just to give me some early game yields. But I want to do something I like to call the slinger rush. There looks to be a bit of an army not heading in my direction, but at least skulking. I want to keep an eye on it. That's a nice 4 food tile. I want to work that just to make sure the pop in the city grows nicely. How much is the library? 360. I can get a little bit of gold from England. Oh look, now England is paying big gold for the marble. Okay, let's do that. I'll sell one of my marbles. We'll come back to this in a second. And Ngazagamu has now decided to pop on side. I'd love to stay here, but unfortunately I need to continue the tour because every time I do this I reveal more of the map and I get a little bit more era score. So onwards to Jerusalem now. I might just leave my scout somewhere slightly awkward on their borders just to give them something to think about. It might stop Greece from bringing their troops down to me. Maybe? I don't know. It could be wishful thinking, to be honest. It could be very wishful thinking. Looks like the troops are heading in this direction. Interesting. Do I make all my slingers go to the Giant's Causeway? Well, I might do. As long as I don't see any imminent threat, I can't see any problem with that. There's irrigation. That's a plantation. I could sell my coffee. I could do it, you know, but I don't want to. I'm being really, really greedy and just trading 1 gold per turn away because I want to get my library up and running as soon as I can. 13 science per turn now. Oh, more importantly, that's 3 scientist points coming in per turn now. It's not this scientist. It's not the one I want. It's the next one. Once this slinger is done, one huge combat bonus I could use is is having a trader in Greece, just in case they attack me. If I already preload the trader in, that'll be +6 combat strength. But they called me on that one, and they have just declared on me immediately. Okay, this happens sometimes, you know? People just declare war on you. It's incredibly rude. Did you see how well that scout defended? +5 combat strength. I tell you, it's very handy. Right, we're onto war footing now. There are a few things that we can do to help here. That trader is no longer very useful. We use our scouts to hold very defensive points. Like if I fortify on that hill with the wood, very difficult to get past that. First of all, we see if we can bribe other players into joining our wars. Unfortunately, Eleanor doesn't want to come in. Never mind. My city could become stronger if I were to put a single galley into the sea. So that's something I will be doing from this city. I will continue working the archer because then I'll be able to just put a couple of those up and those will protect my lands even better. Oh, there's the first warrior. It appears already. Fair enough. Okay, Jerusalem is now on side. I don't need to tour any longer. I'm actually going to send Armani immediately back to Ngazagamu. Might be able to distract Greece long enough there and start to hit this warrior a couple of times. This farm might get pillaged, but you know, that's fine. Oh, they're just going straight in and attacking the city. I don't know whether that's a good idea or just is incredibly brave. Here's my golden age, by the way. I want to tech up, and I want to tech up fast, so 3 inquiry is a really good idea for me. 10% additional tech on a boost. That's big. Monumentality also makes my gold and my faith travel a little bit further. That's tempting. I don't really have much gold and faith at the moment though, so I think I will stick 3 inquiry in for now. Yeah, look how well my scout holds just in regular combat. Very, very powerful. So I'm just going to let them attack into me. But I've got my slingers in good positions here. It's 60 gold for an upgrade, so I can immediately start to think about upgrading bits and pieces on this side. And let's go sailing to unlock the galley. A single galley would increase my city strength considerably, so that's useful. Yeah, did you see that scout? That was very useful. Let's move the archer out. Slinger is ready to go. Scout can come and defend in. Slinger is like, go on men, advance towards me into the death zone. See how that goes for you. And I've got a bonus copy of silk now, which I can sell just for enough gold to make my second archer. This is my scientist. This is the one I want. A 3 library is really, really big. So I'm actually going to run a single campus research ground. That'll help to boost it towards me. And after that, we'll unlock the encampment, and I'll probably build one of those in my capital. But just to make sure I don't overstack, I'm just going to put an archer there. Otherwise, it might just start on a second project, and I don't want that. Political philosophy. Heracles, unbelievably, is still a chiefdom. Not entirely sure about that one, but classical republic for Eleanor. Interesting. Now, oligarchy would give me extra unit experience. It would give me melee, anti-cav, and naval melee +4. But I'm using ranged at the moment, and I'll be using horsemen after that. So oligarchy's not very handy, really. I'd rather get extra scientist points, and I'd rather have a better government slot mix, shall we say. So we'll put this one in for now. I'm going to put in inspiration. That's 2 more scientist points per turn. So with the 15% and then this card, we're going to get a load more. Urban planning is wonderful. I will pop in, do I put God King, or shall I go for Ilkham for an extra builder? That's probably not a bad thing. And then diplomatic league so that I can get more envoys in city-states that I have no envoys in. So Geneva, I'm going to start with you because this would give me 1 science in my capital and then 1 in my library. So that's another 2. We're up to 20 science. Not bad. And yep, here we go. They're walking straight into Death Valley. If you want to do that, you're very, very welcome. I might take a couple of hits here, but I'm defended in a sort of nice hill forest. It's looking pretty tasty. Bring it. That's what I say. Give me your best, Greece. Yes, just attack my city pointlessly. Why don't you do that? It'll heal just after. You numpty. Yes, that's right. Called you a numpty. I'm going to focus on this warrior because this is the only one with the movement to actually pillage that tile. And if I can get away with not having that tile pillaged, that's wonderful. There you go. Look at that. 3 kills in 1 turn. Oh, he shoots. He scores. What about my iron? There's some iron. Yes. My cloves have never looked straighter. I have iron, everybody. I want a double source down here. That's not good for districts, but it's decent for, you know, trying not to die from lack of iron. What would a lack of iron be in your diet? I'm not entirely sure. Let's stick an encampment down somewhere defensive. I like this little hill, you know, although there is a part of me that's thinking, can I make a fidget spinner over here? But no, the iron has ruined that a little bit. Fidget spinner is when you have 3 cities with aqueducts in the middle that then make a ring of industrial zones, but no, not today. Actually, do I even need this project? Yes, I do. I really want that great scientist. So unlock horseback riding. I can pick up my Urdu. It's going to quickly lock in the production cost of that encampment. It's a good defensive position. Just stops from, you know, Greece from moving too many troops through. Oh, someone else arrives in Death Valley. Well, let me just reload for a second. Do I get get the kill, let that attack into me. Let's get this kill. That's quite fun. And attack this. You might pillage. They may be tempted to pillage. Yep, they're attacking me in my fortified positions, but I'm building up promotions here. I can sit on these positions all day. And you've left yourself exposed, and I get to kill. Oh, I didn't quite get to kill the unique unit. That's unfortunate. Look at this though. Nkasagamu is just sending all of the warriors in, and they are just assaulting Greece's soft flank. What are you going to do? There's horseback riding and a second campus finished already. Beautiful. I think I'm going to pop down another encampment over here. I want to get as many of them as I can. Oh, there we go. There we go. Now I killed the unique unit and the scout can get a hit. Perfect. Yep, they're backing off. You wimps. Can I give them a little parting shot? You bet I can. Do you want peace? They don't want peace. We've reduced their army in half, but they don't want peace. I kind of half respect that in a funny way. Eleanor really wants my coffee, and I'm tempted to let you have it, you know, because I'm saving up for another library. This one's for 3, but the next one I have to pay for. This city has 7 production. This one has 6. But this one has nothing better to do, whereas this one is making an encampment. So I'm going to send the library over here. Makes sense in my head anyway. Oh, yep, come back into the death pit. Why not? 274 military strength. That shot up immediately. What have you just done? You just levy Muscat? Yeah, they did. Okay. Oh, and they've got a swordsman. So they are building actual troops now. Would be good to get out of this war whenever you want. Whenever you want, Greece. Don't worry about it, but, you know, whenever you want, I'm cool with that. So here is the 3 library. It gives me +1 science. I'm going to also get another science in the other library. So I'm up to 31 now. Beautiful. I do want to get to stirrups as quick as I can. That's probably the way I want to go. So let's go to currency, make a trade route. I really should have got that earlier than I ended up doing, but never mind. Yeah, we've just been sitting here for a little while, and what'd you say? Another unit appears randomly into little death corner. Sure. Everyone's welcome. That does appear to be a catapult. I get a feeling that there are more troops on the way. We've entered a forever war, everyone. A forever war. My second scientist. Look at that. Excellent. Let's see what boosts we pick up. Military tactics. Lovely. Military engineering. That's a good one. An apprenticeship. Oh, some very good ones, actually. Yep. One by one. Just keep sending your units in and nothing will change. It's an absolutely foolproof technique. Eleanor is actually looking to buy my Diplo favor now, which is quite handy. So here is currency. And I finished encampment in my capital. I need 480 gold for my unique building. But luckily, Eleanor will pay for it. So next turn I'll have it, which means I might as well start to pump out some horsemen. Let's get a bit of an army going, shall we? No peace is going to be given. I'm going to make Pericles work for it. Here we go. The Ordu gives me a little bit more capacity for horses, which is lovely. Gives me a housing, which is very nice. A production, +1 movement to all cavalry units trained in the city, as well as a bit of extra experience for them. Oh yeah, did you see that go down from 5 turns to 4? Because I'm also giving a lovely +1 production from the city-state on top of that, so we've got loads of production coming in now. Greece will want to peace out pretty quickly when they see the power of these things. Whether I'll want to give them peace or not, I don't know. We'll see. Oh, Muscat was just defeated by Eleanor, who is very ably just fighting them. I mean, she doesn't even want in on my war with Pericles, but you're killing the city-states. You're very powerful. Maybe I can bribe her in a second. As much as I'm enjoying Classical Republic, I'm going to have to change my government around a little bit because I do need a better assortment of policies. Oligarchy, autocracy. I'm going to go oligarchy for now. It's not good for the end of the game, but really I need to keep inspiration in and I need maneuver in, as well as conscription and urban planning. This means that I can now pump out horses 50% faster, which is very handy. Oh, and I'm sorry, Catapult. You think you were going to make the difference, did you? No. And now Eleanor wants she wants another war. It's because I've managed to reduce Greece's military strength down a little bit. What does Greece's religion do? Warrior monks. Oh no, everyone. Warrior monks. Okay, we're going to have to be careful. This horseman, right, immediately go over to the Giant's Causeway and then we'll figure it out from there. 4-turn horseman. Oh, so good. Apprenticeship. That means we're almost at stirrups and our Kashigs. These are very powerful units and I'm looking forward to using them considerably. Yep, just 1 unit at a time. Sure, 1 hit, 2 hits. Even the slinger gets the kill again. Ah, horseman has +4. Excellent. So this is actually now a 44 4 strength unit. You can see just what that looks like against a warrior there. Even the warrior has the spear upgrade on it, and no, can't stand up to me. Just wait until I have Sun Tzu, great general, then we'll be laughing. Still just sending one unit after another. It's almost painful to watch. This is a good great scientist. Acts as a medic. Yes, we shall use you in my assault. That'll be wonderful. Classical era ends in 10 turns. Yes, era score was never going to be something we were doing particularly well, not whilst we're defending against this sort of very slow wave assault, but we are now building up a considerable army, and we're so close to getting knights and kashigs. Oh, this is lovely. So confident. I'm going to build myself a watermill. I'm going to do it. Natural philosophy. Oh, it's a good card. 12 extra science. Plus I'm going to put some general points in now. Pinkala, give yourself connoisseur. That would be a good, lovely boost of culture to me as well. Right now we can go games and recreation. These horsemen are being more and more annoying. I'm not quite able to kill it this turn, but like I've got a lot of units now heading in this direction, and I am so tempted just to charge in on that city and just try and kill it. Okay, the cities are being defended a little better now by horsemen. Unfortunately, my great scientist kind of lured the defenses out, which I'm not entirely happy about. Bit of a tactical mistake, that one, but never mind. Just trying to get a peace deal. There we go. The peace deal has come in, and he's willing to offer me quite a lot, to be fair. Doesn't mean I can't go to war with him, but this is a good thing for me, because now I can set it up better. Now I can send a trade route in, and I can come back with my unique units. Oh, this is going to be set up for something wonderful. So the situation we find ourselves in is one of peace with Pericles for 10 turns. I will go back to war with him in 10 turns. We intend to take over his entire kingdom. What I need to do is make sure that I'm ready for that. In 10 turns, I would like to get at least a couple of trade routes to him, have a couple of kashiks, finish at least one great general, ideally avoid a dark age, but I might just embrace the dark age and go heroic into Renaissance, maybe? I don't know, we haven't decided on that one yet. Hopefully get knights, unlock lumber mills, and probably castles in order to get coursers. I think we can charge in with some huge strength here. I mean, put it this way, coursers are 46 strength. With the Spear of Fion upgrade, that's 51. With Genghis Khan's upgrade, that's 54. And with the Mongolia trade route, that's 60. And with a great general, that's 65. You know what else 65 is? It's more than a cavalry. So that's the sort of upgrade we're looking at here. And I think if we charge in with that level of force, we should be able to go bam, 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 take a few cities in one go, and hopefully that would help us to negate any loyalty issue we've got from the Dark Age. I need an economy to back that sort of thing up though, because we're probably going to have to build out one of those units. And I think I put maybe one turn into Watermill, which is a bit annoying, but I'm going to buy it because that food in production is big. The extra production on these 2 tiles, that's even bigger. Plus, it's a construction boost for me, which takes 2 turns off lumber mills, and I need the lumber mills in order to get some production into this capital as well. There's a lot going on at the moment, but I think I'm balancing everything pretty nicely. I'm also going to bring all my units back from the border to try and make sure that Greece isn't tempted to put walls up. The AI puts walls up if they're threatened. It's just like players, really. A lot of people forget about walls if it's not actively a problem for them right there. What you can't see won't hurt you, and that kind of does work, really. So we'll work on that one. One thing it's also worth keeping in mind is the fact that the Kashik, this is a medieval ranged unit. It is not a cavalry unit, so a Gogi won't help, but I tell you what will help, feudalism into feudal contract. So that's kind of where we want to head. There is stirrups. Greece is going to just leave a bunch of warriors outside my base, are you? Okay, fine. If that's what you feel you need to do, that's what you feel you need to do. And I can't argue with that, even though I think it's a bit annoying. Let's get that trader up as a priority, and let's get those lumber mills for some decent production. Oh, you can feel the horse lord beginning to stir. Eleanor's on 100 science per turn. Very, very sciencey start. Etmananki has been built. That's no bad thing later into the game. Eleanor will probably leave her empire open to attack at some point, and I plan on taking advantage of that when I can. Here is Sun Tzu. Greece is going to spread their religion to me. That's not a problem. You're trying to intimidate us with the army. What army? Like, look, these are not by your borders, and you've got units around my borders. Oh, the irony of that, eh? I mean, yes, admittedly, I am planning on attacking, but that has got nothing to do with anything. Okay, let's work on a Kashig. What's more important, the upgrade for my horsemen or unlocking trebuchets and the armory? Now, one thing I do have this game is in Gazagamu. With an armory in a city, I would be buying things at a 40% discount, which is pretty good. I've already got a 20% discount going through. I do like that, but yeah, we'll work on that one. I don't know. I'm just going to treat myself to a builder because there's a bunch of lumber mills I can put down in this city to hopefully try and get that Kashig out even quicker. I think I'm going to go military engineering to unlock Niter, trebuchets, and the armory. That could be the play. I don't know if it is the play, but it could be a play. So we will go into a Dark Age. I'm sort of letting it happen deliberately, and I'm just trying to think, where would the best route be? Do I want to try and build a route between my two cities? Ultimately, the trading post doesn't really matter, but the further I can get it into Greece's lands, the better. Let's have a quick look and see how far we could. Could we trade with Argos or Knossos? With Argos we could, not with Knossos, but Argos looks like it's pretty much as far as we're going to get, and that's if I send the trade route from this city. So that's what I'm going to do. I'd rather have a trading post back here because it means I can take all of these cities, Knossos, Athens, Sparta, Eritrea, Miletos. Those would all be very handy pickups indeed. Defensive Tactics has given us another governor, and I'm wondering now what the best option is. Either I can load on Researcher or Grants, or I can assume that any combat in a Dark Age is probably going to need more governors, and we can go for someone like Victor. I think I might do that. I suspect that's going to be very important for me. My capital is going to generate a bit more science quickly and another couple of governors. I'm putting a government plaza down in this city maybe? Or do I try and get the unit? The units are very important to get, but I think getting warlords thrown up in the long run will be a very useful thing for me. Mass production boosted, beautiful. You can see the production now flowing into my cities. Here is the Dark Age. Now, if I'm lucky, Greece will also go into either a Dark or a Normal Age and it won't be so bad. They're in a Golden Age. This is possibly the worst bit it could have been, but never mind. It's fine. I'll go 3 Inquiry because it's the easiest way of getting era score, and I will pop down that trade route all the way down to Argos. It's not the best route in terms of the economics of it, but look at that. Immediately a trading post is created. That means I now have a +6 combat strength boost over them, and we can go to Surprise War in 3 turns. Oh, that's looking so good. Castles on the way now. Trebuchets, armories, all of these things we could possibly do as well. Even my defensive units, I'm making a quick pilgrimage over to the Giant's Causeway. Every unit I have needs to be buffed in that way if I can help it. And finally, a very special shout out goes to Glorious Petra, Matthew Wilkinson, Paul Coffey, Portland, Clint Hennis, Scott Stratton, Major King Kong, Skeptical Bear, Cinnamon Beard, Petra Ryan, Rom88, Radiatore, Private Selection, Genoa Salami, Callum Billy, Garrett Gowan, Polar Beret, El Truant, Creston, RB Hedged, Mushkin Mandletort, Esri Dax, Deeble Time, Burial, I'm Daft, Gooberman, Dr. Bobby, Polar Wallabear, Mixomatosis, NTG Golfman, Victor McPupster, Indigenous 68, Technology Poet, Teddy's Ursa, Zaf, Barnaby Rex, Sharky Bates. Thank you everyone for your support. See you all in the next video. Goodbye!